And Saloni is saying, hey, Chris, thanks for the opportunity. My pleasure. How can I be a better negotiator? Yeah. Yeah. So some people are going to hate this answer, but I wear my heart on my sleeve. Okay. And I'm very unemotional when it comes to business and politics. And I find that the best people in business are very unemotional. Sometimes borderline Asperger's syndrome. Like, I've worked for a lot of billionaires. I won't say which ones, but a couple of them are so disconnected sometimes. I kind of think like they had Asperger's syndrome, which helped them in their business, because basically they don't get too happy when things go great. And conversely, they don't freak out when things don't go well. And you have to be like that in business. You got to be incredibly unemotional. You know, as Dale Carnegie said, we have to realize in business that people are often creatures of emotion and not creatures of logic. Yeah. So when you're negotiating, and the reason I mentioned all that emotion stuff is because I'm going to recommend a book by Donald Trump. Here I go. Okay. I did not vote for him, but let's call a spade a spade. He can negotiate. Even if you dislike his politics, he can negotiate. You should read his book that I read back in 1987 when I was 15. I'm dating myself. I'm an old man now. Read his book called The Art of the Deal. It's a little dated, but it still has credence to it. And what Trump does is this, okay? And it seems so extreme sometimes, and it is. But if this is Trump and this is the other party, and they're arguing about something, and the other party wants this, and Trump wants this, Trump will say, I want this. It's so ridiculous. And instead of meeting halfway, they'll meet slightly closer to where he is. Love him or hate him, he can get a deal done. So read his book, The Art of the Negotiation, if you can. And one more thing I'll say in business is that business is about relationships first and product knowledge second. And for those of you new to business and new to sales and new to negotiations, when you meet with somebody in business for the first time, or even the second time, don't jump into business right away. I want you to bond before business. I want you to get to know them a little bit before jumping into a negotiation. And, do it with sincerity and see their point of view as much as you can. And what will happen is, if they like you, and like you they will, then the likelihood of you getting what you want as part of negotiation does increase, to be intellectually honest. So I want you to know your clients, know your customer, know the person you're going to be doing business with. And the best way to get to know them and know about them before you meet them for the first time is go to their Twitter profile and see who they follow. You'll learn a lot about a person by seeing who they follow. Maybe they follow a certain sports team that you love, and you can indirectly bring that up when you're meeting with them as well. And you can bond by using sports, for example. And sports is great boardroom talk. Maybe find out who else they're following. And by the way, never follow politicians on Twitter, because half the people won't like you. I don't know what half. But if you're looking at the profile of somebody you're going to meet with, and you see what kind of politician they follow, it might actually change how you bond with them a little bit. And every battle is won before it's been fought. It's a great way to do research, and nobody does this. For example, Bill Gates. He follows about 200 people or organizations on Twitter. And the only non-Microsoft entity and non-charity entity that he follows, that's a company, is Udemy. And so Bill Gates is very passionate about Udemy and about online education. And so before meeting with Bill Gates, you might want to think about online education as one of the many topics you'll potentially bring up when you meet with him.